It's almost like what I really want is there, and I can see it almost, and I can feel it, but it seems...
Describe to us in emotional terms, if you can, what that feels like when you know it's there, you can feel it. What's that emotion that you're describing? Is it disappointment? Is it frustration?
No, sometimes I say to myself, okay, you get in there, so be patient.
But why are you telling yourself to be patient?
Because
impatience, that's it. Impatience is the emotion that you're feeling.
Yeah.
Impatience.
Yeah.
So impatience will keep you from getting what you want forever. Because it's lack consciousness. It's focused upon what you don't want. So you're on the right track as you talk to yourself to help yourself be less impatient. So you could acknowledge things that you once felt impatient about that now you don't have those worries about. You see, here's the thing. Most everybody thinks that once you get what it is you want, then you won't have impatience. And why would you? You wouldn't have any reason to have impatience because you've already got what you want. But you have to find a way to not have impatience before it manifests. And how might you do that? By accepting that it already does exist, that your inner being is already all over it, that the cooperative components have already been gathered, and as you wisely said, I'm peacefully, joyfully, easily on my way to it.
Yeah.
Oh, sure, temporarily not quite there, but it's unfolding. These are the kinds of things that you want to say to yourself.
Last time I was sitting here in front of you, I didn't have any questions. I just wanted to ask the universe to help me to reach a specific desire that I have. And
but you're still not quite hearing us.
Sorry.
You've already... It's all right. We're only excited. We're not after you.
Yeah.
Well, we're a little after you. You've already asked, and it has already been answered. Do you accept that?
Okay.
Do you? Do you accept that? Because a lot of people don't accept it. I've asked, but it's not in my bank account yet. It's not in my garage yet. My physical apparatus hasn't improved yet, or. And so I've asked, but it doesn't feel given because I don't got it yet. I don't have it yet, so it doesn't feel like it's really been given to me. And we say, it's been given to you, but you got to figure out how to let it in. And the only thing that you're doing that keeps you from letting it in is noticing that it isn't there. And so you sit here today, it's really unfair that he got here last time and he got here again, isn't it? And saying, how can I get these things that I don't yet have? And we say, you have to accept that you already have them and that you're in the process of... It's like it's been revealed to you. It's raining down around you. You just have to let yourself realize it. Esther's been using these words because some really amazing things have been happening where the cooperative components are coming in such strong clusters into Esther's experience that it's just breathtaking. And the words that she's coining for herself and for friends, as she talks about, it's like things are putting themselves together. And we say that's what we've been saying about the cooperative components. The law of attraction is putting the cooperative components together. But when you are doing less noticing that that's not here and that's not here and that's not here, and instead you're noticing what is here and what does feel good and what you're appreciating and what you're thankful about, and so you're vibrating mostly on the upper half of the emotional scale, and it's the most delicious part of physical experience, and this is what you're sensing and this is what you're on the brink of. You're on the brink of being aware of that stuff that has already come together, showing itself to you a piece. It just knocks you over when you begin to let the blessings in that you've been asking for. But most humans, it's like the blessings are raining down around you with people being in the right place at the right time and ideas flowing to you and situations lining up for you. But the rain is falling all around you, the rain of well-being, and you've got your umbrellas up saying, well, I'm really dry under here. And we say, you're not letting in what you've asked for. But you can. And it's way easier than we're making it sound as we are pulling out all the stops trying to get you to hear what we mean, you see. It's all right, but almost everybody is so observant of what is manifested that almost all their vibration is about what's manifested. And it's so freakishly ironic because the absence of what you want has caused you to ask for it, but your awareness of it still being absent keeps you from letting it in. So you got to distract yourself in some way.
I tried.
You got to try harder. You distract yourself from it. You talk to people less about the things that are going wrong and talk to people more about the things that are going the way you want them to be. And some days don't talk to anybody because they're all jacked up. And don't turn on the television if you can help it. And never watch a television commercial if you can help it. No. Because they're so sure that everything's wrong with you that they're just doing a constant sales job to get you to come to them so that they can fix you with stuff that's not even yet wrong with you.
I don't have a TV anymore. So.
Well, some of them do. That one does, that one does, this one does. Yeah.
Thank you.
Good?
It's good. It's good. But
we really like it when we get a really stubborn person in the chair, because that way we can give all of the answers to all of the people that have pieces of these questions. But they're getting a little impatient with you.
I'm getting
because they have a lot on their mind that they want to talk about.
Okay.
And we want to say to you, nobody gets it all at once.
No.
But you've heard enough from us here today. There isn't one thing that we've said to you that you don't already know. You just haven't been practicing it.
Yeah.
And so we want to point out one last thing to you. There's this continuum. We've been seeing it or describing it sort of like a train track. And you're like the train on the track. And on one end, going that away is the stuff you don't want, and going that away is the stuff you do want. And so you're on this track, but you're noticing what isn't happening, and so you're pointed that way. And then you do it a little more, and pretty soon you get trending enough, you get believing enough, you get expecting enough. You can't create outside your expectations. And that's so confounding to people because life makes you expect things, and then you expect them, and then you can't get past those expectations. So you've got to find a way to selectively sift and to improve your expectations a little bit at a time, you see. So this train track, you're going 100 miles an hour, we'll say, in the direction of what you don't want. Well, you're not going to stop all at once and go 100 miles an hour in the direction of what you do want, but you can slow that train down. And this is the thing that most people haven't heard from us and they don't really understand, and it's time for you to really get this picture in your mind. So, did you hear us when we talked about your inner being who's focused in your vibrational reality where all of your requests are being stored like on a hard drive for you? They're there ready for you to collect them anytime you're vibrationally or emotionally ready. So there your inner being is, being a very strong point of attraction and calling the cooperative components and calling you too. But if you're headed in the wrong direction, if you're headed toward what you don't want because of the things you're saying and thinking and observing and living, and it's all right, as you think more about what we've talked about here, and when you feel some negative emotion, you render the thought inactive by saying, it doesn't serve me. I'm not going to think about that. Esther's words are, as she writes on her little card to drop into her inactive box, it is my intention to render inactive my propensity to worry about stuff that I can't do anything about. So she'll write that down and drop it in the box. Well, just having done that sets her in a little less resistant stance. Now, she might drop a card similar to that in her box 20 or 30, 40 times, and it might happen all today if there's something really bothering her about something. But every time she decides that she's going to release that and then goes through those sort of antics of writing it down, making it so, and dropping it in the inactive box, she's a little less resistant. And this is what we really want you to hear, which means her train that's headed away from what she wants, which is the whole reason for negative emotion, is slowing. And eventually, it will slow enough that there will feel to you like a tipping point. What it really is you'll slow it enough that this calling will be able to grab you as a cooperative component and begin pulling you in the direction of what you want. So your expectation will improve and improve and improve and improve until there will be another tipping point where it will drop right into your see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it, physical, manifested awareness. That's how every single thing works. Nothing that any of you are living is coming to you outside of your expectations. Now, we will acknowledge that some of your expectations, you were born into a family that expected that, and you saw them expect that, and they expected it, and they lived it, and you watched them live it, so you expected it. It's like Esther talking about her mother. When Esther went to school and started learning about grammar, it was pretty easy for her because her family spoke good grammar. We don't display it here often for fun. And so Esther didn't have a hard time learning because she'd been observing that. It was easy for her. And so some of you have come from environments where people just expected life to go well. And it did. And you observed it. And then you expected life to go well. And some of you are saying, well, that's not fair. Well, that feeling of injustice, that'll get you every time. Because there is this equal opportunity for you to be or do or have anything that you want. And some of you chose situations that were not a feathered nest, because you wanted to launch your own rockets of desire. You wanted to ask for your unique things. You wanted to build your life in a way that wasn't like everybody else did. But everybody gets to build the life that they want, and your source energy, who is part of your authentic self, will help you with every part of that, you see. And so, really, friend, we want to tell you two things. We love you, and you gotta stop complaining about what's not coming. It's easier than we're making it seem.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, really good.